Action activate!
It's me, Gazbot. This is Action Activate. I'm here to talk about Power Rangers and stuff. And with me, as always,
Big Dog Defender, also here to talk about Power Rangers and stuff.
Yeah! Hey, starting high energy today. Why? Because this is, we didn't ask last time. We did, okay, let's step back. Normally, we're talking about episodes of the show, specifically Beast Morphers. That's on hiatus for 17,000 years because of the way Nickelodeon does it. So we've been doing hiatus shows. And we did one on our favorite toys. And we said, hey, should we do another one? And everyone said, yes! And so we did. But then last week, we didn't say anything. So what are we doing this week? We didn't announce it. We didn't ask. What are we doing?
I think we alluded to it in the other episodes, but we're like, man, we love Power Ranger toys so much, but let's try to keep everything a little more condensed. We talked about Ranger figures. We talked about Megazords. But
Right.
what we didn't talk about were Morphers and weapons. So this week, that's what we're doing.
Morphers, weapons, would you also say just general cosplay items fall under that, I would assume?
Yeah, I have a feeling you're going to have more of the cosplay item-centric stuff that fall out of that realm versus me, but
I don't
we'll
know if
see where
that's
it all
true,
takes
but
us.
yeah, we'll find out. We'll find out. Would you like to, oh, but to be clear, like with the toys, a couple of caveats. One, these are not the best in the world. These are our favorites out of what we own.
Correct.
Number two, they all have to be Power Rangers. They could be the Japanese version of a Power Rangers thing, but we couldn't have anything from, say, Die Ranger, or maybe that's a bad example because it's sort of halfway Power Rangers. Let's say Tokuger. Tokuger is the train one that was only in Japan, never became Power Rangers, nothing from that. So we can have Japanese toys, but they have to represent something that was brought to America.
Correct.
Start us off. What do you got there, big dog?
Well, I wanted to start us off with one that is funny because I got it in various parts, but this is a American toy. I ended up with the like accessory pieces to this well before I even thought about getting the main kind of weapon from this. It's from a season that you're actually watching, and I haven't watched in a very long time. And
I'm intrigued.
yeah,
Okay. Now I know what it is.
go for it.
It's the Dino Thunder Morpher with the different plates that you clip on, right?
Close. Not the Morpher, but the Triassic Shield.
Oh, okay.
So I got this at Power Morphicon 2016 for like $10. It was super cheap. And I realized after the fact, because I had all the plates with me for the Morphers that I had from Dino Thunder, I was like, I think I have all these, and I do.
So are the plates, because I'm ignorant of the way this works, are those the plates that would come with the Morpher, or are they separate, different plates that go with the Triassic Shield?
I think they go with the Triassic Shield. All of mine I got secondhand, so I don't know 100%. If anybody knows in the comments, go for it. But I know in the show, all of them are gold to match.
So you
with
may
it.
have
So
just ended up with a bunch of plates that didn't go to what you bought at the time, but then luckily went to the Shield.
Correct.
That's lucky.
Yes.
So that I'm surprised that's on your list. Not that you don't like it, but I know how much you have. You have more than I do, I think, in this category.
Yeah.
So I'm surprised that ranked high enough to make it to the show.
It's a power up I really liked in the show. The fact that I got this so cheap and then happened to already have completed it as I bought it kind of was icing on the cake. Because like I'll show you right now. When I got it like this, yeah, $10, it's kind of cool, whatever. But then when you have all the pieces on, you're like, oh, there's something different about
that's
that.
true. I have favorites, like we talked about that with the other toys. Sometimes there's sentimental value. Sometimes it's a story of how you got it or whatever. So yeah, that's fun that you like inadvertently got a complete one.
Yeah, and the other thing about it too, obviously all the head pieces, I don't know if you could see from afar, they're all the auxiliary swords till that moment. So we have green, we have like turquoise, we have purple, and we have I'm missing a color. One of the other colors that isn't primary. Um, on there, which is really cool. And I brought this up, but it sounded like I was kind of breaking it when I did it before. So
Uh-oh.
I've been trying to figure out how to put it down because it's like it's stuck in a
Like
good
the
way.
sword extending out, you mean?
Yeah, but I'm like,
Oh. You
it's
know,
latched in.
you should watch a tutorial online or somebody reviewing it online, and they'll probably.
Yeah, I'm looking for some kind of button or lever or something to show me like, yeah,
Unless
this will
unless
come
you
down
just
easily.
unless you just pulled it a little too hard and now it's stuck up forever.
Yeah, which could be the case. But either way,
Yeah, don't mess
number
with it.
one pick,
Okay.
your turn.
But again, not your number one of all time. That's just the first one you're showing us.
No, these are in no particular order unless we
Right.
say this is my absolute favorite, and here's why.
Gotcha. All right. I will go. I forget which one is which now.
Oh, as Gazbot's finding his pick, when we both have picks that happen to line up, we'll both talk about them, but whoever's true like turn it is to pick will be leading the conversation.
Sounds fair. Okay. This is pretty high. This is the Japanese version. This is from Gokaiger as opposed to Super Mega Force, and this is called the
Yeah.
Mobarates as opposed to the Morpher or whatever. But it's the same basic thing, except it's larger and better. I mean, let me turn.
Yeah, it is in every way.
The keys. I have the American Morpher, and I have all of the American keys. I think there might be one or two variants I don't have. I actually have bootlegs of some of the variants I couldn't get. So I think I have everything except for like one that came with underwear or something. I'm not displaying that set. I have an incomplete Japanese set, which I am displaying. And if you can see the keys, basically the keys and the Morpher are the size of the props in the show. This might even be like what they used in Super Mega Force. They do that a lot. They'll take the Japanese one, whatever. But it doesn't have the spring loaded. You have to do it by hand, but it's the full size. And you stick it in just like the American one. And then you turn it once. Oh, this shouldn't be a Special Ranger key. Sometimes it malfunctions. It should say the name. All right, great. It's malfunctioning. Let's try one more time. Oh my gosh, let's try a different one. It should say Geki Ranger, which is Jungle Fury, but these things are old. I don't know how new the batteries are. The problem is it's all these little tooth keys, and some of them are so similar that it usually works great. But of course now. Right, this is Shinkenger, and it said Bioman. All right, this is disappointing me. This usually works great. Let me try this one again, and before I give up and am disgusted by this whole thing. I'm gonna grab another one off my wall. Maybe I just picked keys that are worn down a little bit.
So while Gazbot prepares for further disappointment, I don't have the Japanese version of that. I only have the American. I agree the Japanese is 100% better in every way, shape, and form.
And I promise you, while it once in a while malfunctions, never this much. Usually it's like 90, 80% correct. All right, so let's see. Okay, that is correct. And then once you have that, you press the middle button again. And it gives you a second one, which should have also been Mega Ranger. I think the batteries are dying on this. But you can see
yeah, that's what I think as well.
In space is Mega Ranger. But usually, unlike the American one, well, some of the Americans have this, but you get two. You get kind of the quick, this is what the season is, and then you get a second one. I'm going to try one more time for Geki Ranger. I don't know why it's coming up Special Ranger key. That's driving me
We're not hearing it great, by the way.
Okay.
So in case your reaction is more telling than what we're hearing on our end.
The other thing is, and I don't remember the codes off the top of my head, but these buttons actually work independently, unlike the American one. So you can put in certain codes. Let me see if I can remember one. Like, so you could just put in the number. That's a Go Ranger, which was the first Sentai team, which obviously not Power Rangers, but like I put 0001, and whatever number comes up. There's also a lot of hidden ones where you can get it to say Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, all kinds of crazy things like that, which I'm not going to go into here, but that's part of what makes it fun. And again, the fact that it like flips open, and then you put the key in, and it opens up the top, which is similar to the American one, but it's just yeah. And saying Special Ranger key, so I am angry at. I love this. It needs new batteries, apparently. But it's sort of a combo pack with all the keys, which, let me see if I can turn my camera so you could see. See that? Yeah, you can. You can see some of my other morphers and my key display. Those are all my Japanese keys, except for the few that I pulled down. and I would say it's maybe 60% complete, maybe 70. But
Oh, I think yours is beyond 70. You're only missing a handful of the like
the
deluxe special edition sets.
Actually, I have most of the deluxe sets, believe it or not. The ones I don't have, there were some that were candy toys that are lesser quality, but it was the only version, and they go for like 20, 40, 60, 80. So, like, if I ever wanted to complete my set, I'd have to buy a bunch of figures this big for $20 or more. And I'm like, maybe one day, but that's a bit much.
Maybe one day when you go back to Japan, you'll find them.
Yeah, I got a lot of these keys when I was in Japan, and some of them were just like, oh, it's a slightly good deal or whatever. But a few of them turned out to be like, oh, I got a $20 key for $2. How lucky,
Yeah.
All right, so that's my first pick.
So similar vein to what Gazbot said, but not nearly as disappointing. Another Power Morphicon come up. Same year, I believe. I got a lot of good cosplay stuff that year. It was the first year I went with Gazbot and Airzuki. And I remember there was one particular vendor who had
let me just stop you. I'm not going to blow up your spot, but I already know what you're going to say, and I already know why you made that disclaimer a minute ago.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Got a bunch of Sentai-only toys. Some of them have Power Rangers counterparts. Some of them do not. This is one that I'm sure Gazbot and I share because, once again, significantly better than the American version.
Yes.
I think I mildly had to convince you, but after you played around with it, I didn't have to convince you too hard. I think we got these for like 15 or 20 bucks.
15 bucks. It was some I remember.
Crazy good deal, and show accurate as can be. I have the Gabuvolver from Dino Charge / Koryuger, and man, this thing is just crazy, stupid awesome. The presence of it. The other thing I like is this is locked unless you flip it in the back, and the other cool thing holds 2 chargers at once. It has electronics. Mine doesn't have it installed currently because I mostly played with this and didn't want to worry about potentially losing, or not losing, but like just worrying about batteries at all, and because I'm lazy. But this thing's great. We got great condition ones. Mine's a little bit loose now because I've played with it so much, and I probably like forced it open 1 or 2 times. But just so great. This is in my top 5 for sure, hands down, for morphers.
I agree with everything you said. I think you had to convince me because you're like, come look at it. And like, I think I hadn't seen it, and I was thinking of the American one. I'm like, But you're right. Once I picked it up and played with it, it is like a prop from the show. And again, I would not be surprised if they said, oh, this is what they used in America. I have some of the. It's funny because going back to what you're saying about accessories, when I was in Japan, I bought a couple of the batteries. These are the Japanese ones, which again look the correct size. But I specifically got. I got Mighty Morphin just because I was like, oh, I don't know if they'll do Mighty Morphin in America. You can see they're different. They're like kind of hollow foil. And then I got Go Buster, which at the time we thought was not going to come to America. So I'm like, oh, this will be special. But I am going to play with mine because mine does have the batteries in it.
Please do.
And you can see it also lights up on the side there. And it has a spot where you could attach the sword, which I don't think either of us have.
Yeah, I do not.
Put this
I'm trying to figure out how to take the battery out.
There's 2 little buttons on the side in the teeth that are black. Look at the screen. Look at the screen. Look at my screen. Big Dog, look at the screen.
Oh, I was looking. I was looking.
Oh, it looked
like I see now. I see.
Okay,
I was using the wrong thing.
Okay. So you put those in.
I have Go Buster also.
Oh, that's funny. Did you get that from me maybe, or was that just coincidence?
Potentially. I don't even remember. Yeah, I have Go.
And then
I have Go Buster and Mighty Morphin.
That's funny. Once you put it in, I think this has a similar thing where it should. Oh wait, why did that not? Because it should. Oh, I forgot to close it. And then you spin it.
We see the lights and sounds. We don't hear anything.
I hear it. You don't hear it? I'm trying to put my mic.
A little bit.
Okay. I'm trying to remember if it says the name of the team when you put it in. Here, let me put another one in and see what it says. I also forget which way these go in.
You want, I think, the 7 prongs in, if I remember correctly.
It said Super Sentai. Let me see if I spin.
A little bit.
Just laughing. I don't know if you did this, but I don't know if I can still do it. I spent a lot of time practicing, pretending like
I did.
And you kind of like, Like one of those jams?
Yeah, it was the spin
Oh,
and then
yeah.
do the little dance and fire up.
I don't even remember the dance, but yeah, this is very, very fun to play with. It's in my top 5 as well. It's great because it's show accurate, but it's also just fun to play with. Like I have some things that are very show accurate and expensive that I'm like careful with. I feel like this is a toy I can bang it around and it's fine.
Yeah, and it helps so we got it for $15.
Yes, because maybe who knows? I don't know what it goes for on eBay, $40-$50. Maybe I wouldn't feel that way, but I feel like it's a toy. I bought it. I can play with it. It's great.
Yeah, just for comparison's sake, because we're gonna have a lot of the Sentai counterparts at times, but not the American.
Right.
In this hand is the American
Dino
battery, and then the bigger one obviously is for Japan. And then same with the Morphers. Here's the Japanese. Here's the American. No comparison whatsoever. Just and clearly one is for children. Clearly one is not.
Which is crazy because they're for children in Japan too, but it fits an adult hand. So I don't know what they're doing.
I know. I think they just Sentai is very different there versus Power Rangers here. Right. We're slowly bridging the gap, slowly being the operative word.
Yeah. And in addition to the size and stuff, the paint is better and the electronics are better. It's sad to say, but the Japanese version is almost always better.
Yeah. And see, this is the problem with these is we start playing with them and then we're like, oh man, like let me keep hang on, let me just do this. And then okay, never mind. What's your pick? So so actually, Gazbot, what is your pick?
Well, my next pick, believe it or not, is this Morpher, which is from Gokaiger, but it's from Super Mega Force. It looks like I already showed you this, but I didn't. I showed you this. These are both the Japanese versions. Now, why am I showing two? There's a reason, because one was the newer version. So this came out. It got me into the collection. I love it. I keep them both because certain keys give different sounds when you put it in a different one. So it's kind of annoying, but you have to have both. And one of the keys that I specifically wanted to show in the other one was this Go Buster key, because when the other one came out, Go Busters had not come out yet. So it would say Special Ranger Key, which is what it says if it can't figure it out. But the new one, hopefully it'll say Go Busters. It did say it. I don't know if you could hear it.
We only heard the end.
All right. And then press it again. Did you hear it? Tokome Sentai.
Just the end. Okay. I think the way your mic is tempered, it like only does certain frequencies.
It's like touching it, yeah. Well, anyway, I'm not going to linger too long, but the point is the two of these together are equal. I couldn't pick one over the other, so I gave it 2 entries. And I think I would either get rid of all of my key collection. I would never get rid of one of these. It's both or neither. You know what I mean? It's all part of the same thing to me. And it's when I first got them, I would go through every single key and put it in each one and see what the differences were.
I think that was a cheater pick, but I respect you and your collection.
Why was that a cheater pick? It's one of my favorites.
It's the same thing.
It's not the same. This one could read keys. This one can't. They both have different secret messages.
Now we can hear every noise, whereas before it was like, can you hear this glaring in my ear? No, just the end.
If I do it here, you could hear it there?
I did just then. Nope.
Whatever. But also, if you look, they're painted different. They're different. And one says, one says
Gokaiger,
one says Moborate. Look, I couldn't have one. Would you rather I said for my pick it's these two? I thought I was being fair by breaking it up.
I think you're also going off of less is more, where I'm going with more is more, and more is better.
Well, we'll see.
With that same theme, keeping things moving. My next pick, I'm going to go back to Power Rangers specifically. And what I mean by that is, this is a toy that is only in Power Rangers because it has to do with something that was only in the American season. Now, it's not a Morpher, but this is a toy I actually ended up with either 2 or 3 of. I think 3, and I got rid of one. I don't even remember. But I got this early into like getting back into Power Ranger collecting. I'd done in previous episodes, I touched upon it more, but I really got back during Super Mega Force, and then I was picking up Ranger stuff secondhand, and I got this toy and didn't really know what it was until after the fact, but I could not stop playing with it over and over. It's super cool. One of my next picks is the Super Samurai foldable saber / controller for the Zord.
Wow.
So one thing that bums me out about this is it wasn't really used in the show to like actually fight with.
Yeah.
It was more for aesthetic value. Obviously, it being a controller like this is cool. But Gazbot and I agree. Oh, this one's, of course, not going to do it. Hang on. Remember when I said I have two? Because I have two right in front of me. Let's see if this one does it. Okay. These are a little bit old.
Hold it up.
These are a little bit old. I got to spring load them a little bit. There we go. So it just looks really cool. I think you actually used it at Power Morphicon,
Yes.
if I remember correctly. You have your own version. And yeah, man, these are just really sick. Let's see if I can. Let's see. There we go.
Oh, dual wielding.
Got a little. And that's the thing is like it kind of like in Super Mega Force when they would swap weapons and stuff and kind of double up. Like, look at these. These are awesome. So
it's also weird too because they have this sort of switchblade-like ability for like quick access, but it's just used to control the ship. So it's not like they have to hurry up and get it out and then okay, let's turn it on. You know, like
it's like, all right, I'm in my super mega mode, and all right, now I got a joystick and I'm going. So awesome design.
It is awesome.
Poor execution of using it into the story, but I wouldn't say this is in my top 5 of all time, but this is definitely one that like I like more with time, and I've definitely played with more than some of my other entries.
It also gets points for being an American only and an American only that is good.
Exactly.
Yeah. Cool. Well then,
what do you got?
I'm going to keep it on theme since you picked Samurai, which is a great season. I will also choose something from Samurai, which I unironically like. It is the Barracuda Blade. This is the Japanese version. Again, let me give myself one shot. Now, there's a couple reasons I like this. I like Samurai. I like the Gold Ranger. I like the props that look like the props in the show. So it has a little tab so you can stick it on your back.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
It also has a signature, which is probably going to look backwards, but that is the actor who played Antonio, Steven Skyler, signed it for me, and it even says Gold Power. Now, I've met this actor twice. The second time went great. The first time, not as great, which is mostly my fault. But he was very cool about it, and it was just like it was awkward. But it was. I don't want to get into it. He was perfectly nice.
I was there.
Yeah,
I witnessed it.
It was a little bit awkward. That was on me. I didn't understand kind of the rules of the way things were working and like how you get signatures and stuff. So it was a little bit awkward, but he was perfectly polite and nice and gave me a nice signature. The second time I met him was awesome. In the credits, you see me with him in my cosplay. We got the paper. You can't beat that. So now, in addition to the cool signature and liking how it looks more like the show and all that stuff, it also has a cool sound feature. Now, the American one lights up. This one doesn't light up. So you would think, being who I am, I want the one that lights up. But this one's still better. Let me turn it on. Oh, and you're not going to be able to hear it. But basically, when you pull it out, it makes this like a shing sound. Now, the whole idea in both the American and the Japanese is that he's so fast you don't see him like attack. So you swing it around, and then you stop. Hold on. Oh, there it goes. So could you hear that at all?
I heard a little bit. I know what it's going for. I just love that this whole episode is you like, this toy does something really cool. Wait. No, I swear, it does cool things. Believe me, please.
Well, yeah, usually I'm just playing with it. It's hard to like show it and, you know, and some of these, like I said, have old batteries or whatever. But I'll try it one more time. But basically, what it's supposed to do is you swing it, let's say 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you wait a second. Oh, maybe you have to put it back in here. There it goes. I forgot about that part. Did you hear it? So the idea is
a little bit.
He would pull it out, swing it around real fast, put it back in. And so if you swing it 3 times, you put it back in, and then you hear 3 explosions. The idea is like, yeah, so like you go, wah, 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 choo, and there's like, pow, 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 pow. So I think that's really awesome. And that was my fault because I forgot you had to put it back in. So this is very
anime.
This is very top 5, very anime, and this is top 5. I just realized it does have a light, but I don't know why. It's got a little red light. Maybe this was in the show, but I didn't remember seeing it. Let me see if it's on the fish eye because it's the Barracuda blade because he's a sushi chef in Japan.
You're stressing me out that you're gonna smudge that signature.
I know. I'm holding it like this.
I know. Every time your mitts go on there, I'm like, ah!
Yeah. Oh, see, I was just gonna. The eye does light up. Okay, I'm gonna stop playing with it though. That is the problem.
Thank you.
When you get a prop like this or a toy like this that you really like and is fun to play with, and then you get a signature, you kind of can't play with it anymore. I mean, I just did obviously, but like, Yeah, even if I did a cosplay, the gold samurai cosplay I do is the mega mode. But if I ever got the standard mode, this would be the perfect thing to use with it. But I wouldn't because it has a signature, so I'd get another one.
Yeah.
So it's kind of defeats the purpose. Which is crazy when you see people that have like a dragon shield or a helmet or something, and then they get it signed, and it's like, are you never gonna wear that, or are you gonna wear it with a signature? Like I don't know. It's maybe I mean if they're gonna put it on their shelf signed, I get it. But like usually they're in the costume when they get whatever. People do whatever you want makes you happy. I worry about those signatures. What do you got there? Oh, I have this all in one shot. Sorry. The entire show has been a one shot on me. No, that's not true.
Oh, I was gonna be like, well, we're gonna have to run it back. I got a couple options here. Before we bust into the big guns, ha ha ha. This is I'm gonna make this a two-parter and just put them all together because I
Okay.
want to save time and show more toys. So, um, this, I believe I got off of a group a long time ago. I got a pretty good deal on it. It wasn't as cheap as like retail when this toy came out,
Right.
but it's one that I played with as a kid, but I never owned it. I remember playing with it at like barbecue when this season was out with like me and like two of these other guys at the barbecue, and we just played all night with this one toy. Kept switching, kept like going on like a pretend little like Power Ranger mission, whatever. And
Nothing
I
pretend
always
about it.
wanted it ever since then. I know. I finally got my hands on this. It's a pretty good copy. It has a little bit of chew on one of the sides, but it's still great. And even by today's standards, this is a great toy and is very like show cosplay accurate. My pick is the Quantum Defender.
Oh, yeah, very cool.
Dude, like look at this thing. This is so awesome.
Does it have
The
light and
only
sound?
It does. I don't have batteries in.
No.
Uh, which is a
Well, it
theme.
doesn't matter because it'll just malfunction and not show up on the mic like my stuff. So.
Exactly. Let's see. Nope, no batteries in. My only gripe about this that I don't like is, so you do this, that's a cool action feature.
Yeah.
As a blaster, it looks great. As a sword, looks kind of lame. And the other thing that even at the time I recognized as a kid, I'm like, that's a dumb feature. So it folds out of the top. Cool. How would you use a sword? Like this. If the blade comes out this way and
Right.
the grip is like this, you're
Yeah.
going to use it this way. Any kind of movement you get this floppy mess. So it pretty much is exclusively a blaster. But the other cool thing for like playability is notice when it's a blaster, mouth open. When it's not, mouth closed. Put it back, immediately pops it back. Super cool. The honorary mention with this also looks show accurate. Also a really fun toy that I played with a lot, the Chrono Blaster.
Oh yeah.
So many a time have I been going around the room.
Those are both very cool. I actually like the Chrono Blaster a little bit better. Like if I had to pick one, to be honest. Yeah. But
It looks cooler. This though, near and dear to my heart.
We'll put up the Quantum again. No, just the Quantum. You're very cool, but put up just the Quantum. What you were talking about with the mouth? Look at that.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing because you could put the sword on here. So it's open, you put it in, and then you hook the sword on. So there's definitely like a lineage there. It's a very similar design. Yeah. It's a dinosaur, and they both turn into swords. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, this one, if I were ever going to do a Quantum Defender cosplay, it would mostly be because I have this.
Right.
Like, to be honest. That would push me toward it.
But the funny thing is, like, you would be investing so much money in any costume you bought that the amount for, like, that weapon or whatever weapon is so minuscule.
But it's the thing that, like, what would push me, assuming I went that route, what would push me other than me liking the character and kind of feeling okay about his battleizer is like that blaster is like so cool. There's so many Rangers that are cool,
and
then
that
you look
own
like
it. It's that it's cool. It has nothing to do with the fact that you already own it.
Yeah, it's cool and I own it. Like it just compounds on itself of like, so yeah.
Cool, man.
That's my pick.
All right.
Your go.
Now I'm thinking like, what do I want to pick before you pick it, kind of thing, because like we might have more duplicates. Well, I'm gonna go with another in my top 5. Actually, let me see if I could get it on here. I used to know how to use this, but I forget.
Oh, I don't have this in my pile, but if I had it handy, it would also be in there. That is
Yeah.
one of the coolest Morphers of all time.
Yeah, and actually, this is the Japanese version, so it's Geki Violet.
Much better.
Yeah.
It's better in every way.
The main thing, because the American one isn't bad for an American translation, but the main thing is it's got the chrome gold like it's supposed to, as opposed to like a yellow orange. And you open it up, it's got light and sound. You can't hear the sound, I'm sure, but it's got the light. And
we hear a little bit.
And you got the little bell, and then you have the wolf howl.
Yeah.
It's awesome. I love Jungle Fury. I love RJ. I love wolves. I love chromey things, and it fits an adult. I have a video of me and Hutchinson doing the Jungle Fury morph, which at the time I remembered pretty good. Now I forget. It's like something like that, right? I don't know. But I use this.
Jungle Beast, Spirit Unleashed, like something like that.
Yeah, it's sort of like I remember it was like a kind of back and then forward. And his is different than everyone else's.
Yeah, it's like down, back, forward, I think.
Oh, and you have to hit here because he's like a kickboxer, so there's like a Muay Thai.
Oh, his is like.
That's what I'm saying.
Jungle Beast,
Spirit Unleashed. Like his is different than the
main
three. But yeah, so I love this. I love that I got to wear it and do the henshin or the morph with one of the Jungle Fury Rangers. I actually met David De La Tour. I think I was wearing this at the time. Yeah, you did too.
You were. We both swapped.
Yes. Yeah, we swapped. So we got a picture with it. I didn't do the morph with him. Had I thought about it, I should have. And actually, I've now met every Jungle Fury Ranger, not including the Spirit Rangers, except for the best Red Ranger of all, Casey. He's the only one I haven't met in some capacity.
That's going to be like how my moment was with Austin St. John, I think is going to be for you guys, because you're like, I've been doing this so long. This joke has been running for so many interviews that like it just needs to come full circle. And hopefully it will.
Yeah.
June 2021.
Woo! Woo! Now, here's the thing. It is a joke that I throw in because I realize it's all subjective and I'm not trying to tell people they're wrong. But he is my favorite Red Ranger. That's not a joke. So, like, if there was one Red Ranger I could meet, it would have been him. And as lucky as I've been to meet as many Rangers I have, it's funny that he's the one I haven't. But I guess he doesn't come to the States a lot, so that's probably why. But yeah, so
that would be funny. Oh, sorry, go for it.
No, I was just saying, so that's one of my picks. And yeah, that's in my top 5 of all time.
I feel like I agree with that, by the way. I would also put that in my top 5. It's just so cool and unique. For his, like, other than your season, who do you think the best Red Ranger is? Whatever answer he gives, and you could just, close off the joke with, you know what? That's fine, because in my eyes, Casey from Jungle Fury is the best Red Ranger, or whatever.
Yeah, just put words in my mouth when I get to make my favorite Ranger. Tell me what I'll
Exactly. I'm planting the seed.
Yeah.
So if you go against it, you're like, it just doesn't sound as good.
I mean, that's assuming I haven't thought about this a million times already.
Yeah.
What's your next one there?
This is another one that I hate taking so much credit for good ideas, but this is another one you're going to have to agree that I was right on, and you were happy that I was right about. So even before we got as into Action Activate as we were, Gazbot and I have been huge Power Ranger fans. Mm-hmm. Another story, Power Morphicon. I believe it was either 2016 or 2018. It may have been 2018.
It was 2018.
Okay. You're getting yours too, didn't you?
Yeah.
So we're looking at stuff, and I'm like, Power Rangers is really cool. There's a lot of cool stuff here. All the Sentai stuff's cool. I think it's worth getting some Sentai stuff that we know are not going to be Power Rangers. It's not too expensive. It's really cool. It's a nice thing to add into the collection to break things up.
Yeah.
What's even better is when you get this, and then Hasbro goes, hey, guess what? You know that thing you have that's really cool? It can now go with your new Power Ranger stuff, like your Go Busters communicator. Hey, guys.
You still got the price sticker on it.
This is the Japanese version.
You still have the price sticker.
I do. $10. And here's the best part. It works.
Yeah.
That's how you could tell. There were some that $5 that didn't work that we didn't get, because Gazbot goes, hey, I want mine to work. Yeah. So we have the gold and silver Morphers right here. Yep. You clearly silver because you're more of a Gazbot.
No, mine is
gold.
Gold. They're both gold.
Well, I think they in the show they were both gold though.
Well, don't hold yours up. I thought we had the identical one.
We do. What I'm saying is I think these were for the gold and silver Ranger, and the other ones were black for the main team.
You're not saying I have a different Morpher. You're assigning me silver. You're saying I am silver.
Yes.
Gotcha. I'm
yes,
fine
clearly.
With that. Absolutely. Absolutely fine with that.
All right. Agree. We agreed, guys. You're welcome. It happened for once.
Yeah.
We did it. We didn't argue.
Have you tried yours? Have you played with it?
I played with mine a bunch of times. That's the thumbnail right there, by the way, is me being very surprised. Wait.
Mine's playing that. Yeah. Oh, it went away. It's kind of fading in and out. It's that New Year's song. Should all the acquaintance be forgotten? Which has to be some Go Busters thing, because I don't know why it would play that song, but
yeah. Another fun fact, this is what I use for my Big Dog Defender Morph for Action Activate. And the headcanon of it, I know we've never really explained it, but because you guys didn't ask, I'm going to tell you. So for me, the Big Dog Defender is a ranger that is part of Grid Battle Force because, he's brought in, he's kind of more of the Black Ops guy. He's doing the tasks that, the main team just may not be able to handle. So he gets brought in, takes care of the dirty work, more of a wet work kind of guy. And
wet work
that's what I'm here
Power
for.
Rangers?
Hey, you never know. In the comics, they've expanded into that kind of thing.
I don't know that I ever came up with that detailed of a backstory of mine. I use the in-space
with a head cannon.
Yeah, I use the in-space battleizer for when I do mine, which is a whole nother thing, because it got damaged doing that, and it's a really expensive one. Going back to not playing with the expensive ones, which I shouldn't have done, but whatever. But my only thought was not even what team I'd be on or whatever, but I imagined myself being like a cross between Ziggy and Casey, basically, where I'm like kind of like unqualified. How'd I get this? But I'm gonna try my best and have the spirit to see it through, even if I'm not the best fighter. That's kind of like my headcanon.
I imagine you being on Andros's team before he's with the Turbo Rangers, and you're you didn't like die or get frozen with everybody, but you were on the Delta mega ship.
Right.
Is that the one that he picks up? And that's why you have the battleizer. So you were able to do the battleizer all along. You just didn't have the other morpher to do it. Now, full circle.
There you go. I like all of that except for I would hate to have been on Andros's team. Especially the one before the Turbo. Yeah. I was thinking more like I got it. Like, like morphers show up after the fact, like, oh, the In-Space Rangers are done or whatever. And then, like, somehow I found this or it was given to me later or, something like that. Or it's not even in space.
Revised headcanon. After Countdown to Destruction, everything's laying about. You're with the citizens that went with Bulk and Skull, and you're like, hey, this looks pretty cool. Boom. Battleizer Gazbot, ready to roll.
And I'm always a little bummed because I'm excited to be a Power Ranger, but I have this big rubbery muscle suit, and I'm like, this seems silly. I don't really...
You're like, this is so cumbersome. Woo! Flying up in the air.
But it works because I don't really have any martial arts skills, so it's all... but the other thing on this...
Yeah, you're just flying around and...
You didn't show is like the walkie-talkie feature of it.
I mean, I kind of did it.
Well, were you like talking to it?
Hang on. Go for Gazbot, over.
This is Gazbot. Hello, Big Dog Defender.
Gazbot, I think we're going to need to go to your next pick. We're running short on time, and we got plenty more toys.
We have lots of time. We're at 38 minutes, but I agree that these gimmicks don't seem to work well over the speaker, so I will turn this off. My next pick.
Every gimmick I have done work, and yours don't. Over. Big Dog Defender, over and out.
That's untrue. Matt. Oh, you know what? I just realized one of my picks is not in this room. All right, I will go with a different pick. And then at some point when you're talking, I will leave the room, but keep listening. All right, my next pick. This is one that I thought we. Oh, actually, we won't double up on this. I thought we might, but as I realized, this is another one where it is a good piece of my collection, and I like it. I have several that are similar. And this would not have necessarily been my pick, except for the story that goes with it and why, you know what I mean? So it is a Morpher. It is from Mighty Morphin. It is from the Legacy Collection. I actually kind of prefer the vanilla Morpher, and if I had the green Morpher, which I don't, I might prefer that. But the one I'm going to choose is the White Ranger Morpher, specifically the movie version.
That one is cool.
The reason I'm picking it, not that I don't like the the Ranger, I do prefer the Green Ranger, but I'm picking this because it is signed, once again, by Mr. Jason David Frank. And now this one I am terrified of touching because I lightly touched it in one area and it like took off half the ink. So it's still there, but you can see like a light spot. So I'm like, ah ha ha. So I like all of the Legacy Morphers, which is why I'm probably not going to get the Lightning Collection ones. I have 3. I have this one, I have the regular one, and then I have the regular one, which is modified to a Zoo Ranger, although I don't like the job they did, but it looks fine on a shelf. But this one gets the pick because it has the signature, the Green Ranger. Oh, no. Yeah, it is green. Wait. A regular and Green Ranger. Yeah. I will give Big Dog credit that multiple times I had a chance to buy the green one and didn't and should have. One time less than retail, and he's like, "There it is, get it." And I'm like, "Nah, I don't know." And I walked away and came back and it was gone. So that is my fault. But the fact that this is signed, and not just that it's signed, but it was again a story. I was doing a Wizard World convention selling art and stuff, and Jason David Frank was there. And I was like, I'm going to get a picture with him. And Big Dog was even saying, like, I'm not too into pictures, whatever, but maybe I'll go with you, whatever. And so, like, I kind of left my table and got online real quick. And it was a thing where I was paying for a video where we're saying it's morphing time. And I brought this to do that. And I think you were online with Saba, or maybe I had. Did you get a picture? I don't remember. You did. Okay.
I did.
So I gave him one of my Green Ranger prints as just a gift. And then we did it. It's morphing time. He was awesome, friendly. The crowd cheered. We did It's morphing time. And they said, "Oh, you want me to sign that?" And I was like, "Oh, I didn't pay for that." He's like, "Oh, don't worry about it." So he signed it for free. And then later on, he contacted me personally about the print I gave him and wanted more to give out an event. So he gave me a bunch signed that I could sell with his signature, which I've since sold out of. And then he gave a bunch away. So it was like the whole thing was an amazing experience, which is why, while this isn't my favorite Mighty Morphin Morpher per se, in my collection there's a lot of memory and a lot of awesomeness that goes with it. So that's why it's really high on the list.
So one part of that story, and I have a similar story, that Gazbot forgot is I was on my way to the con because he was already there set up, and he decided, hey, I'm going to get the signature. And I was parking, going, and he is like literally about to be up to meet JDF. And he's like, hey, do you have your Morpher? Your White Ranger movie Morpher? I was like, yeah. He's like, can you get here quick? Can I use it for the picture? I'm literally running.
I forgot about that. Yes.
Fast. And I'm like, and I don't run fast, by the way. So I'm going. I get there and I'm huffing and puffing. I'm like, okay, here you go. And then they both have the morphers for the photo.
Right.
And then I later got in and got my morpher, my white movie morpher, also signed in the same spot with a smudge as well, which is why it's not in this thing, because I'm literally not touching it.
But wasn't it a similar thing where you paid for the picture and then he just signed it for you anyway?
I think so. I think it also helped that I was like, I'm with that guy that you like. And he's like,
and also, didn't you get Saba signed as well?
I did get Saba signed, but not by... Yeah, I did. All right, you know what? We're in story time mode and we're moving on. So, yes, you're right, Gazbot. I did also get Saba signed. And you know what else? What? I got a 2-part story for Saba. So... Boom, boom, boom. So I got Saba signed. He's going to remain. He's, let's see if I can take him out of this box.
I'm going to give you, you got a one-shot right now.
Yeah, I don't love taking, oh, that's right. So I got rid of the insert for this.
Okay.
So this is going to be tricky. And I'm going to keep him in the box because this is stressing me out. So I got Saba signed by JDF at that Wizard World a couple years ago. God, almost 5 years ago now, 4 or 5 years ago, and got it signed right here on the blade. Right, can we see it? Ish. There we go. So there's JDF's signature. Got a picture. Super awesome guy. Then at Morphicon 2018, I brought this same Saba and went, you know who's going to be there other than JDF, who I've already met and is an awesome guy? The original Kiba Ranger actor, who I also met, was also awesome and also signed. So I have the dual White Ranger signatures. Can you see it? Kind of, sort of.
Give you one shot again. Hold on. Stop moving.
It's hard to see. I know. I'm trying not to take it out of here.
Pull back a little bit. We could. Yeah. Now turn. Go toward. I don't know which. Go left or right. Yeah. So yeah, you can see them both. They're kind of right next to each other, right? Yeah. That's fantastic. I forgot about that.
Yeah, so I got the picture with him, got it signed, and to me, I never made it out to have that be like a goal of mine.
Right.
But it was really cool that I did that, and I was like, I got every quote-unquote ranger actor who played that to sign this. And the only problem of it, similar to what Gazbot said about the Morpher, is I can
You don't want
never
to play with
really
it.
play
No.
with it the same way.
No.
Like I can, it's on the blade, it's like still movable.
You
Like
don't
it's not
want
on the
to
handle, which
risk
is
it
good.
though.
But like every time I'm just like, so for a while I thought about getting a second one and I never did, which is fine. But I might down the line if I find a good deal on one just so I can play with it. But yeah, man, just that's in my top 5 for sure.
It's pretty great. I mean, it's a great toy / prop, even if it wasn't signed at all.
Everything about it.
Yeah, it's
That's
really
the only problem. It's so awesome that I'm like, I want to play with it so bad.
good. Well, that was
Your go, because
yeah, that was
I
a
immediately
seamless.
jumped in.
That was seamless. I will say one of the ones that definitely should be on the list of mine. I don't know where I put it. Because I was probably playing with. That's it. How did you know? Is that
Because
mine?
I still haven't borrowed from. Yep.
That's why.
I know.
Well,
So
okay.
Gazbot can explain. I borrowed this for my engagement shoot
Which is
in the beginning of
fantastic.
March.
Yes.
I have some picture. I don't know if we ever post them on Action Activate, but I'll post one or two.
I wouldn't
I
post
did like
that.
a
You
Tommy
have to do
Kimberly,
that. Yeah.
the Royal We. But this thing's great. I also own it. But when I moved, I couldn't find it in a short amount of time. So I said, "Hey, Gazbot, can I borrow yours?" He goes, "Yeah, if you wreck it, you owe me a new one." I went, "Deal." And I have his. It's been so long he forgot about it.
I did.
Another awesome toy.
That is in my top 5. Again, I'm more of a Green Ranger fan than a Red Ranger, and I played with that so much and tried to pretend like I was playing it and switch it around, and like it makes like timed noises, like where it just has a preset thing, but I would try to swish it in time with it and stuff. But yeah, I was looking for that, and I was like, oh, I think I left it in the case, and like I just went to look for it again. But there you go, thank you. So that is my pick, but the big dog has it. But I love it's heavy. It looks like the prop on the show. It's metal, but the edges are soft, so you don't have to worry about breaking it or hurting anybody. It's got nice shininess. The green inlay is really cool. And again, another reason why I wouldn't need to buy the Lightning Collection one, because the Legacy one was so good. I feel like most of the people that are going to buy the Lightning Collection, Morpher and Dagger, are people that missed out on Legacy Collection, or super hardcore people with a lot of money that need every version. But like, they're so good. Like that Dagger is amazing. Like so there. That's my pick. Thank you for helping. Did you know I was going to need that, and that's why you pulled it out?
I figured, and I didn't want to bring it up just in case because I thought you remembered, but I brought it out because either way, we were both going to talk about it.
Because I didn't think about it until today. And then what would have happened is after the show, I would have been looking all over the house, and then I probably would have been like, "Wait a minute, did I?" Like it would have come to me like tomorrow or something. But okay, what's your next pick?
Yeah. Unfortunately, I don't have the Legacy Collection Power Sword, which I'll eventually need to track down. But I do have the next biggest thing, and this thing still available on sale. I've preached about it so many times that you should get it. Gazbot doesn't want to have it. That's his loss, but it doesn't have to be yours.
Don't I have one?
I don't think you do.
Now I honestly can't remember.
I don't believe you have a Zeo Gold Ranger staff.
It's pretty amazing. You're right. Because when we moved, I had this memory of well, you play with it and show people.
So it's really awesome. Let me turn the electronics on because I know it has it. Where does it store? Oh, it's in the back. There we go. So, really awesome, nice and hefty. You get some good play with it. I actually brought it to work, and a lot of people there enjoyed it. But
that's fantastic. That's fantastic. That is fantastic.
I also love the Zeo theme song, so that helps.
I like almost every theme song.
Yeah, I like some more than others. But the cool part for me is you throw it down here, and you're just ready to go nuts.
Update.
Yeah,
I definitely own one.
You do?
Yeah. A little while ago, it's weird to say, how do I not remember? Because it's a big, expensive thing. But I think what happened was a couple months ago when things were going crazy, or no, actually many months ago, like 9 or 10 months ago. My wife was in the hospital with pregnancy and everything. Right around that time, there was some kind of crazy sale on Big Bad Toy Store or Amazon or something where it was like half price, and I got it, and it got shipped, and it's been sitting in a box since. I never even opened to play with it because I kind of just forgot I got it because like my life went
Yeah.
crazy. So I absolutely own one, and I've literally never taken it out of the box.
Well, I'm glad you own it. It's
Yeah.
really cool. And my only downside is I don't have the SDCC Morpher to go with it, but I do have regular Zeonizers, so I'll
And
make
that
do.
wasn't really canon anyway, right? Like he didn't have that type of Morpher in the show, did he?
He might have.
The
It's hard to say
gold?
because he'd always go Gold Ranger power, and then that, like, he didn't
Right.
do the one that everybody else did. So
Maybe somebody in the comments can tell. But it was gold plated was the big difference, and I thought his wasn't,
the
but
the faceplate of it was different because I actually had the Gold Ranger one as a kid, and it's way cooler in my opinion.
gotcha.
And the crystal piece was like the staff, so it was the staff
Mm.
with a crystal on
So he
top, which
did
was
have
kind
a
of cool.
different Morpher, but the one from SDCC might not be the one he had, even though he had a different one, is what you're saying.
No, that was the SDCC one was the one like I had when I was a kid, but I don't recall in the show if he had it
Oh,
or
so
not,
it
or
was
if it was just a
vintage
Chain
toy
Ranger thing.
accurate, but maybe not television accurate. Gotcha. All right, we're
Who's to
we're
say?
almost
Probably
out
the
of time.
comments.
How many? You want to do one more each or two more each? Can you be quick?
Uh, go for it. I can be quick with whatever.
All right, we'll do two more each, but we'll be quick. All right, this is my penultimate one. This was a gift. I got this. I went to Ranger Stop, and a person named J-Man, who you can find online if you're so inclined, uh,
Oh my god, I'm so
gifted me
jealous
this
already.
kind of out of nowhere. He does some customizing and things like that, but I had no idea this was coming. And it is a custom version of the Master Morpher made out of the same legacy Morpher that I was just raving about. And you can see it's got actually it doesn't have. Oh, I don't have it on, but it has batteries. So the electronics still work, and it's got the green plastic inlay. It's got the I guess it's like the Zeo sticker. I have the Tiger coin in, but you could put other coins in too. And I've actually looked online and they have repros of like Zeo and stuff, which I might eventually get. But yeah,
And Turbo.
and Turbo. Yeah, but I don't. They're kind of expensive is the thing. Like this was a free gift, which is very generous. But the coins are like $20 each. So I'm like, do I want to buy 4 coins for $80? I don't know. But Zeo looks cool because it has like a crystal in it. But the point is, even without that, this is fantastic. I said 3 before because I wanted to keep this as a secret, but I have 4 of these now. 2 which are modded, 1 which was modded well, 1 which was not modded well, and then, but yeah, this. Again, it's very cool. When we watched that episode together, we got together at a little watch party, and whatever else you want to say about Ninja Steel, that episode was awesome and kicked butt, and in a lot of ways was better than the whole Super Mega War, which had way more cameos. But it was just, I don't know, it felt really awesome when he pulled out that Master Morpher. Some people are like, "Oh, Tommy's overpowered. Who cares?" Shut up. It was fun. It was great. It was a fun, great scene. It explained his powers, and everybody that is a fan immediately wanted one, but they don't exist. So the fact that my buddy J-Man not only made one, but gave it to me for free, surprise, it was an awesome moment, and I kept playing with it the whole time I was at the show, and that is my second to last pick. Go for it, sir.
I have one. Actually, hang on one sec. Let me grab it really quick.
Okay. Oh, I turned it off. there's my thumbnail.
All right, sorry about that. This
Yeah.
one I got in a lot years ago. It's more sentimental value because I got it before I watched the season, and now that have seen the season, it's kind of cool. I think it's one that I have, but Gazbot doesn't, and he might be a little bit jealous of. But Jungle Master mode, got the
Oh
Jungle
yeah.
Master claw right here. Pretty cool. Not the greatest toy, not the worst toy, but fun little action feature and pretty show accurate, which is nice. Mine's banged up, but pretty cool nonetheless.
I do like it. I'm not terribly jealous because the prop I would want I already have. So that is very cool,
I have
but
both those. So
but I will allow you to have it and not be flooded with jealousy. Um,
oh well, thank you. Your go, lightning round.
oh, okay. So this is the last 2. So this is going to be my last one, and then you could end it. All right. Do you have any guesses?
Is it a Japanese or American toy?
Neither.
Neither Japanese nor American.
That's correct.
Then I have no idea.
I believe it's Indonesian because it was made by Aniki.
Oh my god.
Now this is a cosplay prop, and this is Samurai Gold or Shinken Gold. I've worn this once for a second because this, first of all, Aniki, the quality is as good as everyone says, but I do not recommend working with them because I was supposed to get this in 6 months. It took me over 2 years. There was a lot of email back and forth, a lot of them lying to me. It is great now that I have it, but I would recommend getting one from someone else. But the reason I pulled the trigger to get it to begin with was because they had for a limited time this vacuum shiny gold, which is like the hero helmet, which he wouldn't wear in battle, but when he would first show up. And I love this character, and I'm a sucker for shiny stuff. So the idea that I could have the shiny helmet is what sold me. And when I met Steven Skyler, he has an Aniki helmet, and it's not even as good as mine. I have a better one than the real Gold Ranger does. And this, again, I thought I was going to wear it for cosplay, but once I got it and checked it out, like, I have a lesser version that I actually use out. If I was going to do a photo shoot or something, I might wear this, but to a convention, I'd be terrified. When I opened it, there's like a little line of paint, and it's like it scrapes, so I'm just terrified. I mostly just leave it on a shelf, but I love it, and it's great. So that's my number one pick.
That's a good one. I knew from the get-go when you were like, or cosplays, I'm like, he's pulling it out. And, well, you should.
Yeah.
It's a great piece. Mine is a little bit of a throwback. Gonna end on a nostalgic note, a double header. In my left hand on this side is the original that I had since the inception of my Power Rangers career. On the right is, I believe, the Power Playback. Yeah, right. Power Playback version of the original toy, but loved both since I was a kid. Still have them to this day. The
gotcha.
Power Saber and the Dragon Egg. This for a while up until the Legacy, still a great toy.
I agree.
Certainly
better than the
electronics.
Power Sword.
I don't know if you could hear that at all,
Yeah.
but got.
Do you prefer the?
There we go. Do I prefer what?
A little worse to the wear, but still working. Do you prefer that to the Saba, the vintage Saba?
The vintage Saba is cool, but I got it like as an adult. So to me, it's kind of more of a completionist thing. Whereas these, like, this is the same one. There's mild chew marks on the end because kids chewed on toys for no reason that we're aware of. And like these, I played with so often that like these are near and dear. Whereas the Saba was more like, I've always wanted it since I was a kid. Now I'm going to get it. These I had since I was a kid and have fond memories playing with them.
That's awesome. I also love that we ended with the ultimate modern adult collectible that's like the pinnacle of better than the show, and the ultimate throwback to kid chewed up gnawed thing that you love. It's like,
yep, exactly.
Everything. I had this positioned in a way that was displaying really well, and now I can't figure out how to get back into it. So that's why I was fiddling with just there. We are at an hour, so this has been fun. I kind of enjoyed this.
Yep.
Maybe more than the regular toys because I feel like I had a lot more stories for these, but I don't know. I've enjoyed all
these have
episodes.
way more stories.
Yeah.
I would say with these, obviously you get them when you're a kid, but especially being an adult Power Ranger collector, especially when you get stuff signed and just some of the stories of picking these up after the fact. Some of them are expensive. Like I have an in-space Morpher from when I was a kid. I didn't bring it out, but that one I know is expensive now. I know a lot of the Morphers are expensive. So when you find a good deal or you find this cosplay item and use it in a photo or this way, that way, like it just leads for good stories, which is what we're here for.
Yeah. So I don't think
Speaking of stories, are we going to do what we talked about or no?
No, we don't have time. We'll do that another day.
All right, then one piece of news.
Yes.
Today, when Gazbot and I are filming this, Tuesday is the final day for the Legend of the White Dragon Kickstarter. If you're seeing this not on Tuesday, then hey, it got funded. Awesome. I believe we have the comic book. I haven't looked yet, but you know I'm going to read it if it's out there on the interwebs eventually.
Well said. Well said. White Dragon, go, 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 go. So next week, I don't know what we're doing. It's unlikely we're going to do another toy video, right? But who knows? If you have any suggestions, throw it in. And we will see you then. But until then, I have been Gazbot.
I continue to be the Big Dog Defender and plan on being the Big Dog Defender next week as well.
Okay, well then I will say to the power.
to the power, deactivate. See you guys later.
Yeah, we're not doing the deactivate thing anymore. There's the credits.
I gotta throw you through a loop. I always have to talk through the credits. I always have to be slightly synced up with you, but just slightly off where I threw you for that loop, as said. Just like in this clip where we're walking in fast forward and yeah, we did the things.
I turned the music
outside.
off so that they could really hear you very well with this.
Oh, there was music at the end as well?
Usually, yeah.
I didn't even know.
Yeah.
I never get to see it.
It's the
I
instrumental.
never see it in real time.
It's the instrumental version of the song.
And credits.
Oh no, the credits have been over for a while. They're looking at a black screen now.
Oh God. I'm sorry we put you through this.
All right, goodbye.